in the golden plains of Savannah Valley, where the sun rose like a giant fireball, painting the grass in shimmering gold, lived a young elephant named Tambo. He was a bit small for his age, with big, floppy ears and a heart full of curiosity. But Tambo had one big, frustrating problem. He couldn't trumpet. Every single morning, the entire elephant herd would gather by the waterhole. It was a grand sight. The older elephants would lift their massive trunks and let out a sound that rolled like thunder across the plains. Poo-woo! They'd cry. The younger elephants would echo them. Poo-woo! But when little Tambo tried, all that came out was a tiny, weak pee. The other elephants, bless their hearts, would just chuckle kindly. But Tambo felt a hot flush of embarrassment every single time. He wanted so badly to sound strong and brave, just like his mother. "Don't you worry, my dear Tambo," she would tell him gently, nuzzling him with her trunk. "Your voice will come when you truly need it." But Tambo wasn't so sure. He was determined to fix it himself. He tried everything you could imagine. He blew through hollow reeds, hoping to mimic the sound. He filled his trunk with water and tried to spray it out with a mighty blast. He even found the loudest bird he knew, Zika the hornbill, and practiced trumpeting right next to him. But nothing worked. It was always just that same disappointing pffft. One sweltering afternoon. While the rest of the herd napped peacefully under the shady acacia trees, Tambo wandered off by himself. The air shimmered with heat, and colorful dragonflies danced like tiny jewels above the watering holes. As he walked, his big ears picked up a faint cry. It was soft, frightened, and seemed to come from far away. "Help! Help!" Tambo's curious heart led him toward the sound. He followed the voice until he reached the edge of the forest, where the shadows grew deep and cool. And there, tangled in a hunter's net, was a baby zebra. "Oh no!" Tambo gasped, his eyes wide. "You're stuck." The little zebra's own eyes were huge with fear. "Please, I can't move." The others ran off when they saw the hunter's jeep. Tambo looked around nervously. The humans were gone for now, but he knew they could come back at any moment. His heart started to pound like a drum. He wrapped his small trunk around the thick net and pulled with all his might, but it was just too tough. He couldn't break it. "What do I do?" he whispered to himself, feeling a wave of panic. "If only I could call for help." He took a breath and tried to trumpet, but again, pffft. Just a puff of dust rose from the ground. "Try again." The zebra cried desperately. Tambo closed his eyes and took the biggest, deepest breath he had ever taken in his life. He filled his lungs, not just with air, but with courage. He thought of his mother, his herd, and the powerful, thunderous sound of their voices. And then he let it all out. The sound burst from him like a storm. It was loud, powerful, and magnificent. It echoed across the entire savannah, through the trees and over the rolling hills. Birds took flight from the branches in a sudden flurry. Antelopes grazing in the distance lifted their heads, their ears twitching, and far, far away, the elephant heard it too. "Tambo!" cried his mother, her head snapping up. "That's our boy!" Within minutes, the ground began to shake. The herd was coming. Dust rose like a great, billowing cloud as they thundered through the grass, their tusks gleaming in the afternoon sun. When they reached the edge of the forest, they saw Tambo standing protectively beside the trapped zebra. Without a moment's hesitation, the adult elephants surrounded the net. Working together as a team, they snapped the thick ropes with their strong trunks and heavy, powerful feet. The baby zebra stumbled free and immediately nuzzled Tambo gratefully. "You saved me," she whispered. Tambo smiled, his chest swelling with a pride he'd never felt before. "We saved you," he corrected her, looking at his family. The herd trumpeted in a joyous celebration, and this time, Tambo joined in loud and clear. "P, way, ah, hey, P, way, Ah, ah! His voice rolled across the plains, deeper and stronger than he had ever dreamed it could be. From that day on, Tambo was known as the elephant who found his voice. He no longer hid behind the others when it was time to trumpet. In fact, whenever the herd needed to signal danger, call for rain, or celebrate the birth of a new calf, it was Tambo's mighty sound that led them all. As for the baby zebra, she and Tambo became the best of friends. They often visited each other, running races by the river, splashing in cool mud puddles, and sharing stories under the vast, starry sky. Sometimes, when the moon was full and bright, Zika the hornbill would perch on a branch above them and laugh his scratchy laugh. "So, Tambo?" he would tease. "Still think you can't make a sound?" And Tambo would just grin, lift his trunk to the heavens, and send a joyful echoing across the quiet night, a sound that reminded every creature in Savannah Valley that sometimes the greatest strength is just waiting for the right moment to be heard. The story of Tambo teaches us something wonderful. Our true voice, our courage, is inside us all along. We just need to find that one moment, that one reason, that makes it finally break free. Thank you so much for joining us for this story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more adventures. We'll see you next time!